welcome back to Insta Yarn Creations, and I'm Crystal. So in this video tutorial I am going to show you how to do the V-stitch. So I've already started the pattern here just because I kind of wanted you guys to see the difference between a row that hasn't been completed and a row that has. So this top row here, we haven't done the stitch in between. So that's kind of what creates that V. So if you can see in this bottom row here, you can see the V kind of stand out a little bit more because we crochet into the top of it. So again, with that other row, like you can just, it defines the V shape when you crochet in between these two stitches here. So what I did, when you're using the V-stitch, you want to do a chain, any multiples of 2, and then you add 1. So I started with 25, and then you're gonna start in the 4th chain from the hook. So you've seen this in my other videos when we count where that 4th chain would be. And then you would do 2 double crochets into that 4th chain from the hook, and then you would skip a stitch and then do 2 more double crochets and then skip a stitch, and you just do that all the way until the end. When you do get to the end, you're going to find that you have 1 final stitch left, so you're just going to do 1 double crochet into that stitch, and then at the end of each row you do a chain 3, and then so now this actually will count as your first stitch. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 double crochets in between each of the 2 double crochets that we did in that last row, or that I did in that last row, I guess. So as you can see, when you go in between there, it kind of pulls them apart and it creates that V shape. Okay, and then we're just going to keep doing that all the way across. So basically we're skipping a stitch and then we're just working in between the 2 double crochets. So this yarn that I'm using, I'm not a big fan. I'm not sure what brand it is because I think it was just one that I found maybe at Value Village in a big bag or something like that, but it's very coarse. Like you can tell the difference when you work with something, when you work with like my Bernat Yarn Inspirations yarn. It has a softer texture, and I find that this one's very coarse. And I wasn't sure how easy it was going to be able to see the V-stitch, but I think as the more I go along, you can start to see it there. So I mean, this stitch would be great for, you know, doing color changes. So you could have, you know, just keep changing your colors back and forth, and I think it would look really neat. Or just do it all in one color. It'd be great for blankets because it wouldn't be as too heavy. Unless you're using a coarse yarn like this, it might not be ideal. But yeah, I mean, this, I don't know, yeah, it's very coarse. But yeah, so sorry, I just got sidetracked there. I just want to talk a little bit about this yarn because I'm not a big fan of it, and I'm not sure what make it is because it didn't have a label on it. It was just a partial roll by itself. But I mean, the colors are great. You know, I like the transition between each color. It's very neat. Anyways, we'll do a couple more stitches here and then I'll finish off the row, and yeah, that'll be the end of this tutorial. So again, we're doing the V-stitch, and we're just gonna skip this space and we're gonna work in between the 2 double crochets. It's very straightforward, but it looks really neat too. So I will put the instructions on how to start in the description of this video, just since I didn't start right from the beginning. But I wanted to be able to also show you what the difference between each row looked like, and I didn't want this video to be too long, so okay, so yeah, you're just going to go all the way across. Again, we're working in between. Whoops, got a little out of focus there. So that's our last start of our V-stitch there in that last row. So we're working in between. So you're just going to go right in between that space there. And that's what helps give it that V look. So as you can see, after you do it, you kind of have that, V now. All right. We're almost at the end here because I just want to show you the last thing at the end. Just going to pull out some more yarn here. So this is our last V that we need to work our 2 double crochets into here. So we want to finish off this row. So you're always going to do 1 double crochet at the very end. And you just go right into that space. And see how it lines up there. But yeah, so again, like I said, you can kind of see how it starts to take the shape of the V as you work row by row. Yeah, it's a very nice stitch. Really simple, but I mean, it gives it that different look. But yeah, so that is the V-stitch. So again, you would just chain 3 and then you would start your next row and do the exact same thing. So you'll see that the edge consists of your chain 3s that you do to kind of even it off. But that is the V-stitch. And again, thank you for watching. Thank you for following Instagram Creations. I do enjoy making these videos, and I will have more to come soon.